As you can see from the picture on your right, these lines belong to the prologue to the Canterbury Tales and are characterized by different colors to mark the characteristics of the narrative poem. The lines colored in yellow show the first person narrator, which is identified by the presence of the personal pronoun I in the lines "as I lay ready to go on pilgrimage," and "I therefore will begin." The lines in blue define the description of characters. It seems a reasonable thing to say what their condition was, the full array of each of them, as it appeared to me, according to profession and degree, and what apparel they were riding in. The orange defines the setting in time and place. So, in this case, in Southwark, at the Tabard, is the place, the location of the Tabard Inn in London, where the pilgrims met and decided to travel together to Canterbury. The story is colored in green. Here we can see that the poet Chaucer, who is also the narrator of the story, met some 9 and 20 in a company. So he met 29 people who formed a company of sundry folk. Okay, it means different people that happened to fall in fellowship. It means that all these people met at the Tabard Inn and made friends together, and they were pilgrims all, and all of them were pilgrims that towards Canterbury meant to ride, that wanted to ride to Canterbury. Okay, for which reason? Here, to seek the holy, blissful martyr. The lines in pink define the link with the view of the time. So going on a pilgrimage was very popular in the Middle Ages, and all the people who could afford went to various places, but Canterbury was the place where the saint, the holy blissful saint, Thomas Becket, the holy blissful saint of England, okay. Thomas Becket was the first English martyr, the one who dared to defy King Henry II of England, and who was murdered by a group of knights in Canterbury Cathedral. And other people lots of people longed to go on pilgrimages in stranger strands, so in faraway places, but or in sundry lands, but especially from every shire of England down to Canterbury they went. Went is the Middle English word that is used instead of went. So these lines means that a lot of people longed, desired, wished to go on pilgrimages. And palmers, the palmers were the pilgrims who had been to Jerusalem and for that reason could carry the symbol of the palm on their cloaks. They longed to walk on faraway places and visit the burial places of faraway saints that are worshipped in foreign lands. So, April is also, as you can see, it is colored in orange, is the setting in time. Setting in time, so April, the month that defines that starts the rebirth of nature, and he's characterized by all the characteristics of the season. So the sweet showers, the Zephyrus with his sweet breath, so a very gentle wind that exhales, that blows in air, and the young sun, the new sun, which is different from the old sun of winter, has run his half course in the sign of the ram. The sign of the ram is the sign of is the zodiac sign of Aries. But also the rebirth of nature is characterized by the little birds, the small fowls, that are making melodies and that sing all night and cannot sleep because nature pricks them and their heart engages. So also the birds are in love because spring is the mating season, is the love season for the birds. So as we can see, all the elements of the general prologue are present in these first lines. We can summarize them as follow. April and the Tabard Inn are the Tabard Inn in London, in the borough of Southwark, are the setting in time and place. The setting in time is characterized by the typical elements of spring, the sweet shower, sweet rain, that makes all the plants, all the flowers rebirth after winter. Zephyrus with his sweet breath, the gentle wind that blows and that caresses the plants. The young sun in the sign of Ram, the zodiac sign that is typical of March and April, and the birds, the little birds that sing all night because they are in love. So in this season that represents the rebirth of nature, also the people live a rebirth, a spiritual rebirth. And in that very season, they wish to go on a pilgrimage and also wish to visit faraway lands, and they wish to pray in faraway saints that are worshipped in foreign lands, but they especially long to go to Canterbury, where is the buried place of the holy blissful martyr St. Thomas Becket, who was ready to help them when they were sick. This line refers to the Black Death that had spread out in that period, the very Black Death that is also mentioned in Giovanni Boccaccio, Decameron, and that caused the group of young men and young women to flee from Firenze and take refuge in a solitary home in the countryside, where they spent time by telling each other stories. Similarly, in Southwark, a group of pilgrims meet and they decide to go on to Canterbury together. They are 29, and they, together with Geoffrey Chaucer, the narrator, they decided to ride together. And the narrator, Chaucer, also decides to describe them regarding their social condition, their array, that is it means their social condition, their profession, social status, their clothes, and their horses. And he wants to start from a knight, a representative of the small aristocracy of the time.